Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to the Century Farm Organics channel. Today we got an exciting one for you, I think. I'm excited about it. Remember how I was telling you guys about how we bought a new piece of weeding equipment that we're super excited for? Well, that showed up. Kevin and Sean went down to Illinois on Monday morning, and it's now Wednesday, and they picked that up. So they had a big drive Monday, got back late Monday night, kind of rested up Tuesday, and now they're here, and we're ready to unload it. Get that thing unloaded, probably put it together today, just to get it put together, ready to go. And we're gonna show you guys all about it. So I'm in the payloader right now, got my 3-point unloading tool on. There is the wonderful Fusion right there on the fifth wheel on Sean's pickup. So him and Kate are getting things unhooked and unlatched, and we're gonna get that thing lifted off there and hopefully set up, and Sean and I can kind of tell you guys about it. So all right, so here we got our new Aerostar Fusion. Once we kind of get it all set up, we'll go through it more, explain to you guys what we're excited about with this piece of equipment. But what we got to do right now is take off all these transport, I don't know what you'd call them, just transport holders, transport jacks, especially in the back here. These actually unbolt, where up front they're just where the wheels mount. So we gotta go through and just unbolt those. There's 4 of them in the back, 4 of them in the front, and then we'll start setting the wheels. And that's really all the setup we should have to do. We're gonna have to do some tinkering with moving the hitch around a little bit, to make it fit our equipment. But other than that, this is how these 40-footers come across the ocean. They come across in a container set up just like this from factory. So it looks pretty good for making that long of a trip. And yeah, we'll get it set up and start talking through it. So what the guys are bolting up there is our mount for our rear tires. So here's a set of the rear tires right here, one of the rear tires. Kind of nice. I got the tines behind that too, so that a guy can take out those tire tracks in the row, which is kind of nice because, as we've talked about a lot on this channel, any sort of compaction germinates weeds. So we'll be able to take that out, unlike our truffler, which is kind of nice. But yeah, once we have that bolted up, we'll be able to mount all the tires, and this thing should be, we gotta do a little bit more, little finessing with the 3-point hookup, and then we'll be ready to go with this.
All right, well, we're gonna go over a few of the features on the Fusion here. So the big thing is the simplicity of taking off these tines when we're over the rows. That's one cool feature that I really liked about it. We can just pop out this one bolt. So up here, let's fold it up. We can take out this one bolt and pop the tine out and take it out of the slot right here. And that's how we're gonna remove these for our over the row applications, like mostly corn, maybe black beans. We'll see how it goes when those a little bit more delicate crops. So another feature is the tine pressure. So on here we can go 0 pounds, or probably about 1 pound, just kind of dragging across the ground a little bit of pressure, or we can get all the way up to 30. So that's about the highest amount of pressure for most tine weeders that you can go. So yeah, these are carbide tipped again. So that's an awesome feature. Should last us a long time. And speaking of longevity, this thing is built really heavy. I mean, not that we're rough on equipment, but one feature that we're looking for in equipment is how long is it gonna last us? Is this gonna carry us through in 3 years? Are we gonna have to trade this piece off because it's just wore out, things are falling apart, can't afford breakdowns in the heart of the season? So a huge factor is I think we're gonna get a ton of longevity out of all of the Einbock equipment, but I'm super excited to see this thing go. So yeah, you can just see everything's a lot heavier built. I mean, from the frame to the tubing, yeah, everything is just a lot more beefy on this one. So that's a real nice feature. The only thing is we don't have the pins hooked up, so we're gonna go on this one. We wanted to do we have Cat 3 narrow hitches and Cat 3 wide hitches. So we set this one up so that we can do hook up with both tractors, or both types of hitches that we have on our tractor. So that'll be nice. And then so we don't have that done quite yet, so we haven't hooked up the hydraulics yet, but you will see this in action, so I'm not too worried about it. They actually, before this leaves the factory overseas in Austria, they test all this stuff to make sure it works. So they already know that it's gonna work. Every piece of equipment that leaves the facility is tested there. So yeah, that's a lot of the main features. It's pretty similar to some other tine weeders, but yeah, these are the gauge wheels, and they're actually look really heavy, but they're actually pretty light, and they're easy to handle. with the handles down there. One person can do it. So last year with our other Tineweeder, I found myself in the field a lot, just adjusting the heights of these Tineweeders. So yeah, that's a big thing to be able to do this fast, because we got 4 tires per side, 8 total. So that I just want to get my height set and get moving back, get going back in the field again. So that'll be nice also. Yeah, let's walk to the back. So we've already talked about these going behind the tire tracks, but now we're just alleviating everything that can restart weed pressure. So whenever something packs the ground, it can cause weeds to germinate. So, well, it does cause weeds to germinate. So having this ruffle our tire tracks can alleviate that formation of weeds starting again in your row tracks. So that'll be great to have these. So how this actually works is there are no cables or anything running back and forth to these. This is all on this bar, these bars right here where these springs are attached to on top of this bolt. And then this cylinder, which is, there's 5 of them per section, or there's 5 total on the machine, 1 per section. This cylinder is gonna extend, and that's gonna drop these tines down and start applying our pressure. So if we go over here, this is where our gauge is gonna be. Sorry, it's folded up, but this is where our gauge is gonna be to check our tine pressure. So it's very visible from the cab, which is right there. And that's why it's kind of slotted at an angle, so for ease of visibility. So here you can see we don't have any tine pressure, and then we just start gradually increasing it. So that's, you know, there's just a lot less moving parts on this machine, I would say. All right, so yeah, that's where we were really excited about this. And there's just a lot less moving parts. Not that on our other one we had troubles or anything, nothing ever broke. That's why we're gonna keep running it. But it's gonna be really fun to see side-by-side comparisons and have the uniformity of this one, this Aerostar Fusion, because it's just a lot heavier built and there's just really not that much to it. So that's what really sold us, was I think it's built to last. I think we'll have this one for a lot of years to come unless we start wearing out tines. But like I said, the tines are really simple to change out on this. So that was a huge selling feature to us. Tines to removability, and then how simple it was to make sure that all of our springs are all the same. We don't have to go back and adjust some of the springs and say, well, that one a little bit tighter than the other one. So that was just kind of what sold us on this. So we're gonna end the video right here, and in order to see us run this machine and other machines, we need you guys to like and subscribe the videos, and that'll do it for the day. I think we're gonna go seed some oats and wheat, so we'll talk to you guys later.